13 years after Robin Gibb's passing, the quiet protection surrounding his private struggles is slowly giving way to understanding. For years, his children chose restraint, believing their father deserved dignity more than disclosure. Now, with time and perspective, they are not exposing him, but explaining him, offering context to a life lived under extraordinary pressure. Robin was never just the voice audiences heard soaring above harmonies. He was a man navigating fame, sensitivity, and inner conflict. His family's reflections do not seek to shock or scandalize, but to humanize a figure too often frozen in myth. They speak of love, confusion, resilience, and loss, acknowledging that truth can coexist with compassion. In sharing these memories, they allow fans to see Robin not as a headline or rumor, but as a complex human being whose brilliance and fragility were inseparable, and whose story deserves understanding rather than judgment. Early years and the making of a sensitive soul. Robin Hugh Gibb was born on December 22, 1949, on the Isle of Man, arriving just minutes before his twin brother Maurice. The Gibb household was lively, musical, and constantly in motion, relocating from the Isle of Man to Manchester and later to Australia. These early years were marked by both warmth and instability, with the children known for mischief that hinted at restless creativity. Music became the grounding force. Alongside Barry and Maurice, Robin discovered harmony almost instinctively, blending voices in ways that felt natural rather than learned. Even as a child, his tremolo carried an emotional weight that set him apart. Early performances revealed a voice unusually expressive for someone so young. Yet behind this promise, the pressures of ambition and expectation were already forming. The family's rapid rise into public life meant that childhood ended early, replaced by rehearsals, performances, and the quiet burden of responsibility that Robin carried deeply. Fame arrives before emotional readiness. As the Bee Gees' success accelerated in the 1960s, Robin entered adulthood under a spotlight that offered little space for self-discovery. At 18, he married Molly Hullis, a relationship shaped by shared intensity rather than stability. Their bond was strengthened by surviving a traumatic train accident, an experience that tied love to survival in Robin's mind. But fame demanded constant movement. Robin spent long periods away, while Molly remained in the UK raising their children, Spencer and Melissa. Distance strained their marriage, and the pressures of touring, recording, and public expectation took a toll on Robin's emotional health. Friends later recalled his sensitivity and tendency to internalize stress. He struggled with balance, caught between family responsibilities and the relentless pace of success. What appeared outwardly as confidence often masked exhaustion and anxiety, early signs of a man struggling to reconcile personal needs with a life that never slowed down, personal strain, and public consequences. By the late 1970s, the cracks in Robin's personal life had widened. Emotional instability, fueled by stress and disrupted routines, affected his judgment and relationships. His marriage to Molly ended in divorce in 1980, a painful process that became public in ways Robin was ill-equipped to manage. A brief jail sentence in the early 1980s, stemming from a legal dispute related to the divorce, marked a low point that deeply embarrassed him. For fans, it was confusing. For Robin, it was devastating. His children later described this period as one of profound shame and self-reflection. Yet even then, he continued working, using music as both refuge and expression. The contrast between public success and private turmoil grew sharper, reinforcing Robin's tendency to retreat inward. These experiences did not define him, but they shaped his understanding of vulnerability, leaving scars that influenced his relationships for the rest of his life. A new marriage and a different kind of stability. In 1985, Robin married Dwena Murphy, an artist and writer whose worldview complemented his introspective nature. Their relationship offered a different kind of stability, built on intellectual connection and mutual acceptance rather than convention. Together, they created a life that balanced creativity and privacy, dividing time between several homes. Dwina later explained that their marriage operated on principles outsiders never saw, emphasizing honesty and autonomy. While unconventional, it provided Robin with a sense of freedom and understanding he had long sought. This openness, however, also introduced complexity, particularly as Robin navigated responsibilities toward his older children while forming new bonds. His desire for harmony extended beyond music into every aspect of life, sometimes leading him into emotionally complicated situations. Dwina's calm presence helped steady him, even when circumstances were difficult. Their partnership reflected Robin's need to live authentically, even when that authenticity defied expectations. Brotherhood, creativity, and lingering tensions. At the heart of Robin's life was his relationship with his brothers, especially Barry and Maurice. While their harmonies sounded effortless, their creative partnership was often fraught with competition and unresolved emotion. Robin's sensitivity made him acutely aware of balance and recognition, particularly as Barry's leadership grew more dominant. A temporary split in 1969 highlighted these tensions, and though reconciliation followed, underlying issues remained. Maurice often served as mediator, easing conflicts with humor and empathy. His sudden death in 2003 devastated Robin, removing the emotional anchor that held the family together. Grief intensified existing strains, particularly between Robin and Barry, as each processed loss differently. Robin longed for unity, but struggled to bridge the widening gap. His children later shared that these conflicts were rooted not in lack of love, but in deep emotional wounds that fame and loss had never allowed to fully heal. Illness, creativity, and unyielding hope. In 2011, Robin faced his greatest challenge with a cancer diagnosis that forced him to confront mortality directly. Despite the severity of his illness, he remained outwardly hopeful, determined to keep creating. Music became both purpose and comfort. Working on the Titanic Requiem with his son RJ, Robin poured his remaining strength into composition, viewing the project as a statement of endurance. Hospital rooms became creative spaces, melodies emerging even during treatment. Family members recall his optimism as genuine, not denial, a reflection of his lifelong belief in music's power to transcend suffering. A brief and unexpected recovery moment offered precious time for connection, conversation, and quiet joy. Though the illness ultimately progressed, Robin's spirit remained focused on love and expression. He faced his final days not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the chance to create until the very end. What his children are finally sharing. In the years since Robin's passing, his children have chosen thoughtful honesty over silence. They have clarified long-standing rumors with calm explanation, emphasizing that understanding matters more than speculation. Dwina spoke openly about their marriage, explaining choices without defensiveness or regret. The family addressed matters of inheritance with discretion, prioritizing unity over conflict. Most moving are RJ's memories of his father as a man who lived through music, writing not out of obligation but necessity. He recalls quiet nights in studios, conversations about melody, and a father who expressed love through sound. These reflections do not rewrite history, they complete it. By sharing these truths, Robin's children honor him not as a flawless icon, but as a deeply human artist. Their voices allow the world to finally see the man behind the harmonies in all his complexity, a legacy of vulnerability and brilliance. Robin Gibb's life was defined by extraordinary talent and profound sensitivity, a combination that brought both beauty and struggle. 13 years after his death, the stories emerging from his family offer balance to the public narrative. They reveal a man driven by love, challenged by emotion, and sustained by music. His legacy is not diminished by complexity, it is enriched by it. Robin's voice continues to resonate because it carried genuine feeling, shaped by joy, sorrow, and hope. Through his children's reflections, listeners can appreciate not only the songs that endure, but the humanity that created them. Robin Gibb remains a reminder that great art often comes from fragile places, and that understanding an artist's life can deepen, rather than tarnish, the meaning of their work.